Hello everybody, it's here to you, and welcome back to Let's Play Spyro 2 Ripto's Rage! In the previous episode, we conquered the world of Gulp's Overlook and finished off everything else there was to see in the Autumn Plains. Finally! We've been there forever! Alright, so I gotta say, this game kind of has a bad pacing problem because there's only like 3 hub worlds in the game, but the amount of worlds that are in each of them isn't really all that even, so you kind of spend a big chunk of the game in the Autumn Plains. Now, the Autumn Plains itself is a really fun world, so it's not like I mind it that much. It's just something that's very well worth mentioning when you compare it to the original Spyro the Dragon game. And it's another big reason why I prefer the first game. But anyway, enough about that, because we're going to be getting into some cool stuff, because we'll be starting off our adventure with Mystic Marsh.
Things just aren't the same since our magic fountain shut off. It sure would help if you could find out what evil force is behind this disaster.
Pink elephants on parade. That's what I always think whenever I see these elephants in this level. So this right here, we have a lemur we have to deal with. So basically what we want to do is that you want to avoid the fruit that's going to be throwing at you. And then you'll be able to jump and burn it. And that's not exactly the nicest thing in the world. So I gotta say, I've been watching some TV shows and a lot lately, and I gotta say, what's with that running joke of people not knowing what a lemur is? Like, you see that in Malcolm in the Middle when Dewey's all like, what's a lemur? And then you see that in, like, Once Upon a Time when Ruby didn't know what a lemur was. Like, is that like some kind of running gag within TV that I just don't know about? Because I don't really get it. It's like, lemurs are like one of the more, at least to me, lemurs are one of the more popular animals that at least I know of. So, what's with people not knowing what a lemur is? But anyway, enough about that, because we go over here. And the big gameplay gimmick with this level is that there are going to be some of these enemies that are going to be like in a snail shell thingy. But some of them will turn into elephants, and the elephants are going to be evil. So that's something that's you got to keep an eye out for. So let's take care of that. Fire should be enough to defeat them. So that continues the running trend of enemies in this game, where the big enemies, you defeat them with fire, and metal enemies you defeat by charging. So we'll go over this way, and I gotta say, before we get too deep into this level, I gotta say, just look at this. This is just so gorgeous. I remember my first time playing through this, and by first time I mean like last week, because as I mentioned in the previous episode, on my own time I never got further than Gulp's Overlook. On the Reignited trilogy because I got so frustrated with that boss fight. But like last week when I first played through this area, my jaw dropped. This area is just so gorgeous. And I'm honestly stunned that they were able to make it look this pretty on the Switch. Like, the Switch is a pretty powerful console and things like that. But it is no secret that when you take a game that was made for PS4 and Xbox One and you port it to Switch, then it's definitely going to have some compromise and things like that. But that's something that I think works really well with this game in particular, because it's a very cartoonish game and things like that. It doesn't have to worry about being the most ultra-realistic thing in the world, so it maintains that cartoonish art style while still looking really beautiful, and I think that's something that definitely works in the Switch's favor. Now, I will say that with that same mindset, I gotta say, is it just me, or does Crash Bandicoot look like a million times better on Switch? Like, it does look good on PS4 and Xbox One, don't get me wrong, but I don't like how Crash looks in that game. I don't like that they gave him individual hairs on his fur. I don't think it looks really all that good, and I think getting rid of that for the Switch version kind of makes him look more like Crash Bandicoot, if that makes any sense. It's kind of like comparing, like, say, for example, the Lion King animated movie compared to the live-action remake thingy they did. It's like, yeah, sure, it's technically visually better, but in the end, the original one is still the Lion King, and the remake is just some weird thing. I'm not knocking anybody who does prefer the PS4 or Xbox version of Crash Bandicoot. It's just personally speaking, I think he looks better on the Switch version. So this area, I gotta say, when looking at this level compared to things from the first Spyro game, this one honestly kind of gives me like Treetops vibes, and anything that reminds me of that level is automatically a good thing, because I absolutely love the world of Treetops. The Treetops was like easily one of my favorite levels in the entire game, and seeing a level that kind of has a similar structure here is pretty nice. Now, it definitely doesn't have the same gameplay mechanic where you charge around the treetops and make a bunch of complicated jumps, unfortunately. Like, that's like my favorite part of that level. But I understand that that's like a big reason why a lot of people don't really care that much for that one. And we fell. But luckily, we just activated the power-up of this level, and now we can jump. Except we can't because we hit our head on a wall ceiling thingy. Luckily, we don't have to backtrack too far. We might want to pick up some dragonflies in a moment because we are kind of completely out, and we need dragonflies to stay alive and stuff like that. Destroy the jar. There we go. And go this way. There's another dragonfly over there. We can pick up some more of those gusher candy things. Like, I know I said this already, but they honestly look like gusher candies. Now let's head up this way. And there's a person over there we can go talk to, so let's go take care of that. Ow, wait!
What? Oh, I must have dozed off there. Golly, looks like I let the fountain switch off. Here, take this orb and, don't mention my little nap to Hydra, okay?
Oh, Hydra! So, we're getting an orb instead of a talisman. And this is going to be a running trend that we're going to see across the Winter Tundra. Because we need the talismans to open up the gates to take us across the different worlds. But we don't need to anymore. All we really need to do is get enough orbs to open up the gate to go to Ripto's lair. So, yeah, I gotta say, that really threw me off the first time that I played through this game. Because I was admittedly not reading the text as well as I should. And I kind of missed the fact that we didn't really need the talismans anymore. So I remember thinking that the game glitched and gave me an orb instead of a talisman, and I was really concerned that I wouldn't be able to finish the game. But no, that's not the case. It's just the fact that we don't need the talismans anymore, so they're going to give us orbs instead. It's a really nice attention to detail, to be completely honest, even if it does throw me off every once in a while. So let's go down here. There's going to be some gemstones for us to collect. That's going to be pretty fine and dandy indeed. Where are we right now? Oh, we're over here. Get rid of that, get rid of that, and get rid of that. Oh yeah. Is there anything down here that we missed? I don't think we did, but I want to double check anyway because I feel like it. I don't know if I mentioned this already, but I really do like the fact that when Spyro is swimming around, his tail kind of twirls around like a submarine propeller thing. It's a really, really cool detail. I don't remember if that was the case in the first Spyro game. I imagine that it was, but when I played, well, he couldn't swim at all in the first Spyro game. I meant to say the PS1 version. I found the thingy. So we want to go over this way. And go down here. And go this way. Was that everything in this area? It doesn't look like it. Sparks is pointing at something. We missed something down there. Let's change that. So these blowfish enemies, I gotta say, they're really cute, but I kind of feel bad for fighting them because they look like beavers when they're not all pufferfishy and things like that. Would that be a pufferfish or a blowfish? Well, it looks like a beaver when it's not all like spiky and things like that, so I don't think it really matters that much. But anyway, yeah, they can be a little bit difficult because you gotta stop right before they try to attack you, otherwise you're going to ram your face into a spike, and that's not very pleasant at all.
Ah, Spyro, a friendly face. A bunch of rotten thieves have stolen my spark plugs and I'm stuck here. Please get the 4 plugs back.
I'd hate to ruin anybody's immersion, but this guy's just a recoloring of the model for the mayor in Metro Speedway. Hooray for jump cuts! I couldn't exactly tell what it was I was supposed to do for a moment because I thought that that vehicle that the guy was standing next to was, we had to do something with that, but that's actually not the case. So there are going to be some thieves that are going to be running around and things like that. So we gotta be careful about this. This is basically like chasing the wizards from the first Spyro game. Excuse me! Excuse me! I did that jump perfectly! I saved up 16 lives so far at this point in the game. I'm gonna waste them all doing this stupid level. So, yeah, hooray for jump cuts because this area is kind of obnoxious to deal with. So basically what you want to do is that you're gonna want to go down here and follow the thief around the level. It's basically pretty much the same as hunting down the wizards in the first game. Whatever you do, don't try to chase this thief down the other way, because if you do that, the jumps they're going to have to make in this area are going to be a lot more difficult than they need to be, so definitely don't do that. The same tricks with the wizards apply here as well. Why didn't that go off? The same trick with the wizards apply here as well! I hate that jump. I hate that stupid jump. I hate that stupid jump because it always seems like it's just barely out of reach no matter what I do. But anyway, yeah, we go over this way, and the same strategy before applies here as well when we talked about the wizards in the first game. You want to cut as many corners as you possibly can, but you don't want to try to get too far ahead because otherwise you're gonna run around the other direction. And this jump right here is so stupid. Alright, so there's the first one. And now time to find the next one. I'm really hoping the next ones are going to be a lot easier than that one, because my goodness, that jump can be really obnoxious sometimes. Ooh, there's another area over here that we didn't find yet. So, there's a thief. Kill the thief! Kill the wizard! Which way are you going? You're going this way! Oh, this isn't too bad. This isn't too bad of a route, so we should be okay.
One eternity later.
You're just literally running around in a circle. Kill the wizard! Kill the wizard! Die! I did it!
Woohoo! I'm back in business. Here, young dragon friend, take this. It's museum quality, but you deserve it.
Alright, do you have anything else for me? No, you don't. Okay. So, this one's bothering me right here. How do I get this thing up there? Ah, I see. That was a gemstone and it was shiny. Alright, so the rest of this video is going to be a montage of getting the last of the gemstones, and I believe there's one more orb in this area. So, yay for editing stuff. So you don't have to see me spend like 20 minutes looking around this area because I can't remember anything.
Ah, Spyro, so glad you're here. I'm perfectly useless without my trusty pencil, and I seem to have lost it. I do have this extra egg. Perhaps you can trade it for my pencil. Oh.
Oh, right. So for the third orb we'll be looking for, we're going to need to find a place to trade this egg for a pencil. So you might be wondering, who exactly can we give this to? And that's a question that I'd like to know the answer to, because I honestly don't remember this level at all. So, yay, more editing stuff while I figure this out. It goes to show, practice before recording. Spyro looks hilarious when he has something in his mouth. So basically what we want to do is, we have an egg, so go figure, we're going to need to find some birds. So the first one's going to be located up here, and we can spit that onto the thing. Excuse me. Well, I guess we have to stand on this thing for it to work. Oh, come on! Finally! So I've taken care of that. We can trade that in to get this thingy. And there's going to be that thing over there that we can go take care of. I believe this is the next one, and if it's not, I'm not going to be a happy gator. Let's spit that out. Okay, the spinning controls are so stupid. Either they overshoot or they undershoot, and it's never a good in between. Okay, we have a ducky now, and luckily we saw some duckies over this direction. At least I think we did, depending on how I'm going to edit this video. But take the rubber ducky over this way towards the end of the river to the mother duckling. And that's a fruit, so it looks like we'll need to take that over to some kind of thing where we can eat it or cook it or whatever terminology you want to use. That will spell out a token thingy. So let's see if we can find anywhere to put this. This next one is honestly the most weird one to find. So that thingy resembles something that we can see in the fountain, but it's kind of hard to see. So you're gonna have to like really pay attention or look it up or something like that. I mean, why would you look up the answer to that? I say this as I'm recording a walkthrough for this game. But after all that pain and headache, we could finally claim our sweet, sweet wood.
My pencil! Now I can begin calculating the age of the universe again. Here, take this orb for safekeeping. Allura thinks I'm going to lose it.
Everybody knows the universe is 7 years old. Why are you going through so much trouble to figure that out? So, all orbs collected. Now all that remains is to collect the last of the gemstones. So I gotta say, this level is kind of continuing the trend of me saying that I really like a level, but then something happens and it makes me annoyed. We had that thief level that really drove me crazy, and then we had getting lost around that area. So yeah, I still really like this level. It's just that there are some things that are kind of annoying me. Can I get out of the water? Case in point. Finally! That took forever, but we did it. 100% level completion! So, what I was saying a moment ago was, I do really like this level, but it's also kind of continuing that trend of me saying that I really like a level, but then something silly happens that kind of annoys me and things like that. That seems to be a running trend with this game. I do like this game! It's just that there are minor things here and there that do kind of drive me crazy from time to time. But anyway, let's check the guidebook. Looks like we got everything, so without further ado, let's leave this place forever. So I'm taking care of all that. We're in this video off here. Thank you all so much for watching this episode of Spyro to Ripto's Rage. In the next episode... where's the next level that I want to do? The next level we'll be taking care of is going to be located down there. So thank you all so much for watching this episode of Spyro to Ripto's Rage. A penguin! Penguin! It's so cute! Die! Until next time, later gear to you. Oh yeah.